You know, in T20 cricket, they always say a match can turn on a dime. But what if a whole high-scoring, edge-of-your-seat thriller was actually done and dusted in just 11 balls? Well, today we're going to dig into the numbers behind a huge CSK versus PBKS clash to uncover the real story hiding behind the scoreboard. So, just look at this scorecard for a second. On the face of it, it's an absolute classic, right? Chennai puts a massive 209 on the board. Punjab chases it down with more than an over to spare. A 5-wicket win chasing a monster total. You're probably thinking, wow, what a nail-biter. Must have gone right down to the wire. But, and this is a big but, scorecards can be pretty misleading. And that's really the big question we're asking today. Because even though this match played out over almost 4 hours, the data tells us that the actual contest, the part where either team could win, was over in a flash. The real story here isn't about the final few overs. It's all about the first few. Okay, so let's zoom in on that exact moment, the point where this entire match was basically won and lost. And believe me, it happened way earlier than you'd think, and it was all thanks to one player's absolutely ridiculous, game-breaking performance.
And here he is, Critechery Singh. He came in as Punjab's impact player, and what he did next just completely tore the game apart. We are talking 39 runs from just 11 deliveries. That's a strike rate over 350. It was pure, unadulterated carnage from the second he walked to the crease.
Now, for anyone who might need a quick reminder, the impact player rule is basically cricket's version of a strategic substitution. It lets a team swap a player out mid-game, which can be a huge tactical move. And let me tell you, in this match, Punjab played their cards absolutely perfectly. Now this is where it gets really wild. This visual shows you the sheer destruction he caused. Before Preb Simran even faced a ball, the game was a total coin toss. Punjab had a 53% chance to win. Just 8 balls later, that number skyrockets to 79%. 2 more balls, and it's up to 85%. By the time CSK finally get him out, Punjab's chance of winning is a ridiculous 94.7%. He single-handedly turned a 50-50 game into a foregone conclusion in 11 balls. And this line from the commentary just says it all, doesn't it? You can almost hear the relief in their voices. CSK finally got their man. But the irony is just perfect. By the time they got the wicket they were craving, the damage was done. The game was, for all intents and purposes, already over. So you might be asking, how on earth did a massive score like 209 suddenly feel so small? Well, to understand that, we've got to rewind a bit and take a look at how Chennai actually built that innings in the first place. CSK's innings was a real journey. I mean, they started off pretty strong in the power play, but then smack in the middle, they hit a wall, lost 3 quick wickets, and all their momentum just vanished. It actually took a brilliant little rescue job from Sarfaraz Khan and Shivam Dubey at the end just to drag them up to that 209. It was a good score, but you could tell it felt a little shaky. And this right here really paints the picture. CSK's power play was solid, 57 for 1 is not bad at all. But then look at Punjab. Fueled by that Prabhat Simran blitz, they just rocketed to 68. They weren't just keeping up with the required rate, they were absolutely demolishing it right from the start. And all of this was only possible because of one single strategic decision. And to really get how massive its impact was, we're going to use our Black Mirror tool to peek into an alternate reality, one where Punjab made a totally different choice. So here was the big gamble. Punjab decided to take out one of their main bowlers, Arshdeep Singh, and bring in Prav Simran, a pure, unadulterated power hitter. It was a gutsy move, right? Sacrificing a key bowling option for just raw, explosive batting power at the top.
So our Black Mirror shows the 2 roads this match could have gone down. In our reality, Prab Simran's cameo makes the required rate just plummet, and the win probability, as we saw, goes through the roof. But in that other world, the what-if world, where they don't make that sub, the chase is a proper fight. The win probability stays right around that 50-50 mark, and we are almost certainly talking about a last-over thriller. One substitution, and it created 2 completely different games.
And the biggest consequence of Prab Simran's attack was that it just sucked every last bit of tension out of the chase. For the next 15 overs, the result felt inevitable. And we can actually put a number on that feeling. Our Humdinger score, which is what we use to measure how exciting a match was, rated this game a measly 4.4 out of 10. For a match where a team chased over 200, that's incredibly low. It tells you that while it was happening, it never really felt like a genuine contest.
So why so low? Well, just look at this chart. Now, the score gets a few points because, it did finish in the 19th over, but the key is that tiny, tiny little slice at the bottom. That shows how much time the game spent in that nail-biting zone, where the win probability is hovering around 50-50. The suspense was over before it ever really began.
And here's the killer stat that proves it all. After Prabh Simran was done, from the 4th over onwards, Punjab's required run rate never even crept above 9.5. In modern T20 cricket, that's not a chase, that's a cruise. The rest of the batters didn't have to do anything spectacular. They just had to not mess up. The chase was on autopilot. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, this game wasn't won by a grueling 40-over team effort, no. It was decided by one brilliant strategic gamble and one player's incredible 11-ball explosion. Honestly, the final commentary line really captured the feeling perfectly. They called it a stellar run chase, but the key part was that it never really seemed in doubt. The result just felt certain. And that really leaves us with a pretty fascinating and maybe even a little scary question about where T20 cricket is headed. With rules like the impact player, are we entering a new era? An era where one calculated 11-ball gamble can completely wipe out 20 overs of hard work from the other team? It's definitely something to think about.